All right, this I didn't expect. Uh, Reta or Retatrutide, the drug after Ozempic. So I'm going to tell you the story. Cut me off, turn off the TV or whatever you're looking at this. But first comes Ozempic, the medication that targets two metabolic hormones. Now, researchers are testing Retatrutide, once a week injection designated to activate three hormone receptors at the same time. We're all going to be so skinny we won't even recognize each other. Now, researchers are testing Reta, let's just call that, in a major phase 3 obesity trial. I just say the highest dose produced an average weight loss of more than 28% after 8 weeks. That is striking results. So Reta is still investigated, or it's investigational. It is not FDA approved. It is not legally available by prescription outside of a clinical trial. And the products sold online as research Reta are not the medicine tested or regulated. So, is Retatrutide really the drug after Ozempic? How does it work? How much weight did participants lose? What are the risks and when might it become available? So let's separate science and hype. Reta is the drug after Ozempic. Ozempic is the brand name for semaglutide, and it started off for diabetes mellitus type 2. It activates one receptor called GLP. It helps pancreas release insulin when glucose is elevated. It reduces glucagon, the slow stomach emptying, and acts on the brain to reduce appetite. For chronic weight management, the higher dose of semaglutide product is called Wegovy. Chemotherapy is easier. The distinction matters. Ozempic and Wegovy contain the same active molecule, but they have different FDA-approved indications and dosing schedule. After semaglutide came tirzepatide, sold as Manjaro for type 2 diabetes, Zepbound for chronic weight management, and certain other indications. I thought chemotherapy was hard, but this is harder. But I learned it, so hopefully this will help you. So Reta or Retatrutide goes one step further. Retatrutide is an experimental once weekly injectable medicine developed by our friends at Eli Lilly, and it'll take GLP-1, GIP, and other glucagon receptors. That's why it's sometimes called the triple agonist, or less formally triple G. GLP-1 and GIP components influence the appetite, insulin secretion, and metabolic control. The glucagon component is especially interesting because glucagon is usually known as a hormone that raises blood glucose, but glucagon receptor signaling may also increase energy expenditure and change how the body handles fat. The goal is to combine lower food intake with broader metabolic effects, so we'll never be fat again. But more targets do not automatically mean better drug. The real questions are whether the benefits are clinically meaningful, whether the adverse effects are manageable, and whether treatment remains safe over many years. How much weight loss? The early results generated enormous attention. Uh, in randomized phase 2 studies involving adults with obesity who did not have diabetes, participants that received 12 milligrams of Rita lost an average of 24 points, uh, and their body weight after 48 weeks was almost 42% less. The placebo group lost some weight, but nothing even close. At the highest dose, 26% of participants lost at least 30% of their initial body weight. And then came phase 3 results, and according to top line results released by Lilly from Triumph 1 in May of 2026, adults receiving 12 milligrams lost an average 0.3 pounds or 28 pounds or 3% body weight after 8 weeks. Um, so we now have multiple trials, and the studies are enrolling selected patient populations to prove that this stuff works. And REDA is now studies in people in diabetes mellitus type 2. And I feel that this is a very promising approved diabetic treatment, and regulators still need to review the complete evidence, including manufacturing quality and safety. The darn side effects are gastrointestinal issues, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, reduced appetite, which is really what we want. They tend to be more often during dose escalation at a higher dose. So the participants really discontinue treatment because of adverse effects. And until final labeling exists, we should not assume that Rita or Retatrutide will have exactly the same warnings or contraindications as semaglutide or tirzepatide. They're almost making it sound as bad as chemotherapy. Now, potential issues that the regulators will have to examine is gallbladder disease, pancreatic disease, dehydration, gastrointestinal symptoms, low blood sugar, and how much lean mass are you losing? What are the cardiovascular effects? And please make sure the rapid or extensive weight loss can also, uh, to some extent, protect the muscle and bone loss, and also adequate protein intake, resistance exercise are going to be a big part of this. We also don't yet know the complete long-term safety profile. So Retatrutide has produced a greater average weight loss reduction compared to everybody else, but it's not the same as proving superiority. Different trials can enroll different patients, use different durations, and a trustworthy comparison requires a direct, randomized, head-to-head trial. Effectiveness is also only one part of this whole project. For an individual patient, the best treatment is the one which an appropriate indication, acceptable risk, tolerable side effect, sustainable access, and demonstrated benefit is there. As of August of 2026, RETA remains an investigational medicine. There is no FDA approved RETA, so please don't ask me about it tomorrow. And the vials that are sold online contain the wrong amount, a different substance, contamination, I don't know what. But please be careful. A lawful way to receive investigational RETA is through a properly authorized clinical trial for what for which the person qualifies. Please do not purchase it from peptide websites. And let's wait and see what happens. Am I excited? Heck yeah. Do I want everybody to be skinny and happy and healthy and wear nice clothes? Yes. Be a little patient. Let's not hurt ourselves. And I'm always here to share with you the little that I know. Best of luck and hope to see you soon. The news is coming in so fast, it's almost impossible to keep up.